Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dependent on your time zone. We are so excited to have you all in our Wentors 2.0, the Global Woman Blueprint. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As always, I am Dorothy, the lead program coordinator at Wentors. I would be calling out a few people that I can see on my screen here just to say welcome and just to make you feel warm and loved, because we always do. So I'm going to start with the first name on my list, which is Alexander. Hi, Alexander. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think you can unmute yourself to let us know how you feel. Hi, Blossom. I see that you're already unmuted. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Anastasia. Hi, Balogun, amazing. If that's your name, I actually love it. Welcome to our Wentors 2.0 external launch. We're so excited to have you all come in. Hi, Doi. Hi, Fatima. Hi, Tegbe. Hi, Oluwale. Hi, Oluwa Lola. I'm sorry. I'm not Yoruba, but I would definitely love to know what that means. I know Olu means God. So yeah, we're good. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to have you all in. This is our Wentors 2.0, the Global Woman Blueprint. I'm so excited. You can tell because I'm literally jumping out of my seat just because this is something that we have been working towards for over 2 years now. Wentors was launched in September of 2020, and we're so excited because we have been working towards ensuring that we are able to push out an offering that is accessible to every woman globally. Hence why you see the Global Woman Blueprint as our team for the Wentors 2.0. Yes, Anita, thank you for welcoming everyone. With me today is Edua Basi, who is the founder at Wentors. I also have Unoma. Unoma is the founder at Wentors. They're going to be here to dish out exactly what we have specially designed for the Wentors 2.0. I also have Anita. Anita is the program coordinator at Wentors. Thank you for doing that, Anita. And also I have Wendy. Hi, Wendy. Wendy is a brand and comms, everything that has to do with communication, with branding. She's the go-to person. I just want to appreciate everyone for making it to the program today. It's going to be power packed. We have a lot in store that we have been working on. Hi, Alma. I see that you're checking yourself out. I'm not sure why, but you look good regardless. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Please feel free to let us know how you feel. I see Blossom Robinson saying, hello, everyone. Glad to be here. Amazing, Blossom. Thank you for saying that. We are happy that you made out time to be here today. I don't want to talk too much, all because of my excitement. However, please send in your messages. Let us know how you feel. Let us know what country you're located. We want to know, how you feel about the Wentors 2.0. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. We have curated a whole lot planned out for our Wentors community, as well as every woman in tech. So this has been specially designed for everyone. However, I want to go to the next agenda while, you're getting started. Get your pen, get your paper, get your questions ready, because we are ready for you. So we're going to go to the next in line. Hi, Laduni. She says, hello, everyone. Great to be here. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're in Nigeria too. It has been raining. Has it been raining in your area? So good to have you, Laduni. Thank you so much for joining in. All right, let's move on to the Wentors Advantage. Now, the Wentors Advantage pretty much is going to let every Wentor in our community, let them know exactly what we have in store in the Wentors 2.0. Yeah, it's a lot that we did design. So we want to have that specially elevated and ensure that you are aware about what we're designing. I see that Wendy is trying to figure out where the advantage is. Yes, she got it now. Thank you so much, Wendy. All right. So to take us into a deep dive into what the Wentors advantage is the beautiful founder of Wentors, Edu Abasi. Hi, Edu. Please take it on.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dora, your energy is palpable. I will try not to drop that energy level. I will struggle. Bear with me if I'm struggling to meet Dora's energy level, but Dora's energy, it's on a different one. But thank you, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It probably depends on where you're calling from, where you're joining us from. Sorry, but it's afternoon. It's past 12 for me where I am. So my name is Edwa Basse. It's quite a mouthful, but I like it to be pronounced Edwa Basse. There's no short form, unfortunately. And I am very accessible to everyone here. I've gotten loads of messages from different people over time on LinkedIn, and I'm still the name, trust me, it's a very unique name. So if you type Edwa Basse on LinkedIn, I can proudly say I'm the only Edwa Basse. So you can't get it wrong. But Oma is shaking her head. Oma, I haven't found another one, but we can take it. We can take that offline. But let's talk about Wentors and pretty much who we are. For every time that we have meetings like this, I think key to that for us is to always remind you who we are as a community, why it was created, and the problems that we're looking to solve. So Wentors was a passion project between myself and Omar. For those that have been in the community for quite a while, you probably have heard these stories for quite a bit now. But it's never old, it's never stale, so we'll keep telling it. So for us at Wentors, it was pretty much a passion project. Have been in the IT sector for over 10 years now. I have a core techie background. I have a software engineering background. Yep, but I don't program. Don't ask me why. That's what I studied. And then I remember starting on my career, coming back from school, joining a Fortune 500 organization, and I was like, yeah, I got into IT. But did they ever tell you that the things that they teach you in school, it's useful. It's very useful. I don't want to say it's not useful. It's very, very useful. But there's a whole lot that you need to be successful in your career. We at the initial stage of Winters, we used to have an internal joke within our team where we said no one ever teaches you how to write your first professional email in school. Well, I don't know, maybe they're teaching you guys now in school, but trust me, over 10 years ago, we didn't have any class on how do you respond to that first email, and that's being nice. How do you respond to the first, in quote, email fights? So you know those kind of emails that come with like fighting undertone. The Nigerian in me will say, "Bas bos." How do I respond as a fresh graduate? No one teaches you all of those, but ultimately, there are everything that shapes you to your growth. So beyond your core technical skills, there are like other things that would shape your journey. And so that was for me, for once, was a shocker. Because they were like, I think I can proudly say I was a good student when I was in school and I graduated well. Did it set me up for the success that I needed in the career front? Not necessarily. But however, we move. And it was in that journey that I met Omar. It's like two people struggling together. How do we struggle? But eventually we did it. And so if we did it, key to that for us was how do we impact other people that are coming behind us, to thrive in that? How do we, what? And so it was also a personal evaluation for us. What could have made that journey easier for us? And so when we reflected and we said, boom, I would definitely have benefited from having a mentor. So if I had a woman who was already in tech, had 4 years experience, who had said to me, you know what? Beautiful that you had a first class degree in software engineering. You're very good at your technical work, but here are some things to prepare your mind. And I think maybe now schools even teach around LinkedIn. But I remember then over 10 years ago, people just assume you needed to have a good LinkedIn profile. So between trying to manage I didn't want to, I wanted to say high five, but that would give away my age. Between trying to between trying to manage the social medias, moving from Facebook to Instagram and now getting to LinkedIn, you're like, should I be using this slang on the LinkedIn or not? How does my employer see me? So nobody really put all those into perspective. But all in all, you're expected to thrive in that. You're expected to grow, and then you're expected to climb the ladder. And so that's where the Wentors vision came from. So what is Wentors? So we're completely focused on getting a lot more women into technology. Underneath that is core to that for us, which has been our bedrock, has been the power of mentorship. What we've been doing over the past 4 years is we've been trying to harness a lot more other women who have this experience in the sector to say, hey, if you could look back at your younger self, what would you have done differently? And in doing that, you're able to sort of impact what the younger ones, what the younger generations could do. And we've had like some really tremendous success story in it. Now, embedded into that has also been things that have been key towards again, the other things that you're not taught in school. How do you brand yourself? How do you deal with imposter syndrome? Especially in this day of social media age where, by the time you open social media, I think everyone is having the best time of their life. But there's something called imposter syndrome, and irrespective of the level that you are in your career, it's important that you recognize it, you know it, and you know how to deal with it. And so there's a lot more of other things. There's communication. You could see like a Dora's energy that is over the roof, and you could also see someone like me who is trying to pick up Dora's energy just because she started on a high tone, right? But ultimately is understanding, how do I communicate with your different colleagues, personality traits. How do I deal with a Dora? How do I deal with an Anita, different from a Wendy, because they are all they have different personality, but ultimately getting my most effective work being done. So there's a whole lot of other things that as a community over time, we've come to see that as what impacts what would impact you and give you the wholesome career. And those are the things that are not necessarily taught in school. And so we call that soft skills training. So embedded into our mentorship have been soft skills. And of course, we are in tech. So we are extremely driven in getting a lot more women into technology. And so from running courses on data science, on product management, AI bot engineering, because guess what? There's a whole lot of men who are in technology, and we're trying to have a level playing field. And it's easy for us to say, oh, we would never have that. But what we sort of urge ourselves, what we challenge ourselves to do as a community, as a team at Wentors, is we would contribute to that as much as we can. And contributing to that for us means, how do we encourage you? How do we get you into tech? You studied social sciences in school, you studied art, and you're like, I'm interested. What's this AI thing? We're saying to you, come, 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 come. We want you to be part of it. And we're trying to make tech and a daily, an active part of that woman's life, and saying to every woman out there, you can be anything you want to be in technology, irrespective of your background. I hope I haven't run over my time, but that has been a bit about us. That has been our founder story. There's a whole lot about this story that if I wanted to unpack it, we don't have the time. My team would just kick me out. The door, I'll be like, Madam, your time slot is out. But for sure, I assume that a lot of you are already part of this community. You definitely will have other times that you're meeting with us. But today we are going to be focused on, the Winters Global Woman. And so with that, I would step out, Dora, and just hand that back to you. Hello, Dora.
So Dora is not here. I think she has network issues, but thank you for
Okay,
that wonderful introduction.
we have Dora back.
Okay, she's
Dora.
back. Hi, Dora.
My apologies. I'm definitely not going anywhere, so I'm back. The next on our agenda is definitely the beautiful Oma. Hi, Oma. I saw you were checking yourself out. So please, can you let us know a little bit about, why were you checking yourself out before we know exactly what you have in store for us? So Omar is going to be sharing with us what is the Wentors 2.0. Hi, Omar.
Hi, Dora. So yes, I was checking myself out because it's very important that everyone, when you start a meeting, you get that boost of confidence in who you are. It also helps with whatever presentation that you're going to dish out, right? So I looked at myself, I was like, yeah, I'm bringing my A game. So yeah, so that's what I was doing. Oh, but thank you, Dora, for an introduction. Happy to be here. Glad that we've come this far in our journey as Wentors. Edu has given her a snippet of what started Wentors. There's so much more, like she said, but we don't have time to unpack. But the crux of the story is this, right? We are very deliberate in ensuring that we have more female representation in technology. Now, over the past 4 years, we've been doing that. But what Wentors 2.0 is, in a nutshell, is an advancement from what we've been doing in the past. We want to be more deliberate to ensuring that you, as a Wenti, succeeds in your path, right? And that involves us, tweaking our programs, tweaking our processes, and it's all for your benefit. So that is what Wentors 2.0 is exactly, right? Summary version, but I will go a bit deeper. So walk with me. This is a journey. Walk with me while I talk you through how we're going to be changing your careers, how we're going to be changing your life projections with Wentors 2.0. Wendy, thank you. So we have 2 offers, right? The foundational program offer and the pro membership offer. So in essence, right, you will have 2 options to have 2 memberships, right? The foundational is targeting people who are just starting out their careers, right? Fresh graduates, transitions, fresh transitioners, excuse my English, it's a bit of a tongue tie there. Fresh transitioners into tech, right? And what we'll be giving you is simple, right? We're giving you access to a curated learning path. So we're going to pick you up from wherever you are and say, okay, Wendy, it seems like you want to build a career in data science, right? Right. We will develop a career path. So you say, okay, in 3 months, you should do X certification. In 6 months, you should do this. In this, you should start doing some freelance work to build your competence in XYZ. That is the kind of partnership we'll be working with you to ensure that you actually have something to work with. So it's like an accountability conversation, right? Or accountability document, right? We're going to build this together with you and check in on you to make sure that, look, we said in 3 months you do this. Have you done it? Right? Fine. Then we're also going to help you with group mentorships with tech leaders, right? So female tech leaders. So it's pretty much what we've been doing before. But like I said, there's more, should I say, intentionality in the conversations that you're going to be having with this senior tech leader. This senior tech leader will know who you are. The senior tech leader will have your 5-year career plan. Right. And they are going to Edu mentioned when you get your first angry email from somebody, I need to know how to respond. The mentor will help you in those kind of scenarios, in the sense that, look, this is, as you grow in your career, you're likely to meet this kind of scenarios. This is how you present yourself. Always make sure you put your best foot forward, right? Always make sure you present a professional view, no matter how your emotions get involved, right? So that is what we're going to have with our small group mentoring with the tech leaders, right? So like I said, it's a little bit more intentional, right? It's not going to be like, So in the past, I'm not saying we've not been intentional, but we want to hold you accountable and hold us accountable to ensuring you succeed, right? So I think in the past, we kind of pushed it more to your side, but now we as Wentors are going to ensure that you succeed. So it's a give and take scenario where we're both mutually working together to achieve your goals together, right? Then of course you have access to a members only community for peer support and exclusive opportunities. Exclusive opportunities could be access to some particular events, access to particular trainings, access to some particular career opportunities. So that's what we're offering in the foundational program, okay? Like I mentioned, this is for transitioners, for people who have less than 2 years experience in technology. This foundational program is for you. Now, can we move to the pro membership? Who wants to go pro? Pro. It's important to go pro because, I mean, what's the point? We're here to make sure that women in tech are building the next stuff. we are taking the front seat and make sure whatever we build, whatever AI, I think the world is moving towards AI now, or whatever AI we're developing, we ensure that there's a female take into it, because it's very important that we don't lose sight of who we are as women, right? There are perspectives that men do not consider in decision making, and it's very important that we use our voice to ensure whatever is being built in the future will also will a future for both men and women, right? So our pro membership, pretty much you have the same thing that we had in the basic membership, but with some extras. So I already spoken through all these things. So Wendy, can you have the next page? Thank you. Right. So this is the extra that comes with a pro membership, right? Admission to all Wentors conferences and networking events. Then as opposed to having a group mentorship, access to group mentorship, you have one-on-one sessions with a top industry mentor, right? This is more, like I said, more deliberate, more intentional, right? You have somebody who is your person, and this person you can call anytime. This person is as vested in your success as you are, right? And we will be working with that mentor and yourselves to ensure that you get, what's the word? Sorry, I don't know what's going on with me today, but I seem to having tongue ties or tongue twisting, right? That person will work with you to ensure that all your career goals are met, right? Then we have a virtual workshop on personal branding, networking, and interview mastery. Now, you notice that reason why this is a bit different from foundational, because when you're starting your career, personal branding, networking, interview mastery, I won't say they are not important. They are not, but I'll say they are not as critical to your success. These things become more critical to your success when you've done like a year or two in tech. Now you know that, oh, I need to climb this career ladder, right? I need to show up with my best foot forward. And what will help you? Things like personal branding, things like networking, things like interview mastery, because it's after 2 years that you now start trying to your hands on different, different career opportunities, different roles, different jobs, right? So you need that support. You need these resources to ensure your success, right? Then, of course, it will help you get a industry recognized certification. We will work with you to ensure that you have a certification that can open doors to any tech role internationally. So we're talking about not just, one cyber cafe that will say that I have certification in this and give you certification. No, we're talking things like Udemy, we're talking things like Google certificates, we're talking things like Microsoft certificates, right? Things that carry weight in any job or any career opportunity that you have that will definitely ensure that you thrive in that role, right? So that's what's available in the pro membership package. So you have the things in the foundational, but this is the extra that comes, right? So that's the difference. Wendy, next slide. Now, so typically both the pro and the foundational, they're subscriptions for 6 months, However, if you want to lock in with us for a year, right? This is what we're going to do for you. We're going to train you one-on-one mock interview sessions with hiring managers from technology to pretty much improve your skills in interview sessions, right? It's very important. To be honest, that is how your career takes off, right? Because there are companies that have internal interviews, so not necessarily you finding a new job elsewhere, but take on a new job in the same company, you still have to go through there are also companies like AWS, Microsoft, Google that have a way of the interview process, right? They have their own
More. Hi,
language,
Oma. Okay.
words. Yeah, they have their own keywords.
You were frozen for a minute, but you're back now.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I don't know what you stopped hearing, but basically what I was saying is this: there are some companies that have their own, they look up the particular thing. So like Google, Microsoft, during their interview through each of that, sure that look, they should I say, analyze or they score their candidates in the Google interview process. This is how you need to show up, for example. I'm just giving an example. So this is high value bonuses for people who want to lock in us for a year. And of course, there's a LinkedIn profile optimization to ensure that the AI picks your profile at any job interview. So pretty much any role that you apply for via LinkedIn, we're going to make sure that you're shortlisted for that job, right? Of course, we're going to have lifetime access to our master classes, video series. Yeah, we separately sell that, but you're going to have access to it if you look with us for a year. And of course, we have partner companies already. So once they feed us with roles that are available and you are shortlisted, we will help you ensure you get a job interview, one of our partner companies. Okay, so that's it. I hope you're excited as I am. So yes. We are so vested in you becoming successful, and we're happy to move on with questions, whatever you have to say about this, but I hope you like it. Can I have like reactions to what I just presented? Is it blowing your mind?
Absolutely.
No reactions. What's going on?
The reactions are definitely coming up. Please give your reactions. Let's know how you definitely feel about this. Thank you so much, Bolanle. Thank you so much. We have worked a lot to make sure this does come to you in a platter. Thank you so much, Bolanle. I love the energy, love the dancing emojis, love. Thank you, Oma, for that presentation and for letting us know exactly what Wentors has been working towards the Wentors 2.0 product for our members. I absolutely love that we're able to come up with curated, valuable offerings that are key to the growth of every woman in technology. So it's definitely beneficial to them. Amazing. Thank you, Rhoda. Thank you, Somto. And thank you, Adebola. We love those reactions. Now, we want to take you to the next step, which is the speaker spotlight, the career advancement. It's pretty much to give you a lot more information on strategies for women in technology. We also want to provide with you what career advancement strategies should women have in technology? Because again, if you want to thrive in technology from someone who has that much years of experience, you should know what are some strategies that are key to your advancement and key to your success. They're going to be focused on a few points that would, stem from building networks, negotiating, leadership skills, work-life balance, and whatnot. And Edua Basi is going to take us into that session. She would provide so much information. And again, please ensure that you have your questions ready, because we're very much available to ensure that we give you the perfect responses to your questions. So I'll leave the floor to Edu while she provides that information. Hi, Edu.
Hi, Dora. I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Are you going to run it through like asking questions, or you just want me to go right into what does it mean to build a network? Conscious to not just be the only one talking.
Right. So yeah, pretty much we could do that, where I ask a few questions and then we sort of get questions from women within the community as well. So I think I'll ask and pretty much so from your experience, now you have well over a decade of experience in technology. If I
Many as you want to add, just add.
Over a decade, please.
Yeah,
However, there are women within this community, within the call today, that would like to know from your experience, what are some strategies that can help us advance as a woman in technology? What are things that you have experienced yourself and you would say, you can beat your chest and say, if you have this, you will make it. Your career would advance significantly.
Oosh, that's like a whole lot. How many minutes do we have for this? Because I can see like there's so many things on the there are so many bullet points, but I'll just keep mentioning a few. And I'm happy to make this conversational, and I'm happy to rather take questions from the chats, you know, from the people joining in, so that it would be more than for me to just go ahead and speak. But something I'd say is, as you start on your career, um, don't be humble. So I'm saying this carefully, of don't be humble. Don't be humble with the work you have done. So more often, like, you know, you've done a great work, and then you don't want to take credit for it. It's like, oh no, I just want to be focused on doing my work. So that's where, I mean, again, eh, I'm not talking about humility in the sense of don't you know, be proud. No, you can't be. I say something to, for some of you that have joined a lot of my sessions in the community, I say something, it's so admirable to see someone that knows her onions and is humble. That is different. I'm saying within your office, there is no need of you've done something, you have to speak about the work you've done. So in the early stage of my career, there was a whole lot of you're doing the work and someone else is taking credit for it. And because you know, because we are women, it's like, oh, okay, you have a to-do list. I've ticked that one, it's done. It's until you go in for a meeting and you hear them talk about the work that person has done. It's like, did someone just steal my work? The truth is, did they steal your work? No, they did not, because there's nothing like stealing your work. It is, did you do yourself? Did you value yourself to talk about the work you have done for everybody that cares to hear? So I struggled with that a lot in the first 4 years of my career. I was doing such an amazing work. Half of the time my managers knew I was doing the work, but sometimes they're getting into meetings because someone else is proudly talking about the work I have done like theirs. So they can't even speak for me. So you're coming into a conversation where your manager is saying, but I thought you said you did it. This person said, I'm like, no, I did it. I did it. This is my work. Everybody knows. There's something I want to say to everybody here is, when you're doing, so when you put in the work to do a great work, award yourself that by speaking about it. In fact, be intentional to speak about it. Be intentional to speak about it with your colleague. And you can go ahead and say, oh, do you mean I'm just having lunch with people and I'm saying, oh, do you know I'm the one that created the blueprints for Wentors 2.0 offering? Yes. Yes. Slide it in. How was your weekend? My weekend was great, but something I'm very grateful for is that as I reflected on last week, the work I did with the Wentors 2.0 blueprint, it was so amazing. It's like, oh, really? What's the work you did? Hey, you know, I was in charge of this partnership. I was in charge of this partnership. Talk about it. Brag about the work you've done. It's very important as you think of your career growth, and especially even when you get into maybe like a Western culture, that they are very, you know, they are very, what's the word, people are very proud of what they do no matter how small it is. I was a perfectionist at heart, that I feel like the work has to be very huge for me to, the little thing you do, talk about it and brag about it. Dara, can't see you on my screen anymore. Okay, I probably would just pick on some of the other. Please, if you have Anita, help me check the chat. If anybody has questions, feel free to drop the questions on the chat. But I think the network has dropped Dora out. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, because for some reason the entire team seems to be dropped out of the chat. Okay, so we go ahead. Feel free to drop a comment if there are particular things you want me to talk about. Something else that is here is work-life balance. So I would jump at work-life balance. A bit about me. At the moment, I work out of London. I lead the cybersecurity team for Microsoft in London. I'm a mom of two beautiful daughters, 6 and 4 years old. So this is the way I'm going to talk about my work-life balance. I'm fully embedded into Wentors. As you can see, I'm at Wentors and a whole lot of other things that I'm committed to. So what is work-life balance for me? Work-life balance for me is waking up and not feeling overwhelmed. So let's have a frank conversation. As a woman, you are tasked with you have your kids that you need to which I feel like it's a bit of a primary responsibility and lifelong fulfillment. But you also don't want to be missing on the family fronts, and then you want to be running the strides on your career. So what I've done over time, and this is something that I would recommend, is have done a lot of reading, and in all that I have reading a lot of books. And one of the books that have been very impactful to me is the book called is from Brian Tracy, Eat the Frog. So you eat your biggest frog every day. So so I would just do a summary of what that book is. What is that frog? So when you wake up and you have, so my time, for instance, my time at Microsoft is from 9 o'clock to 5:30, I think. When I step on my desk by 9 o'clock, I start off by listing everything I need to do for that day. Now, my biggest frog is those things on your to-do list that as you look at it, your heart jumps like, you know about it. If you know about it, I want to be seeing emojis because I need to know that I'm talking to people. So those things on your to-do list that you look at it and it feels like your heart is sinking, that's your biggest frog. That is your biggest frog. So start off your day by eating that biggest frog. Guess what it comes? It gives you a pump of adrenaline. And now what do I mean by the biggest frog? So now, first thing first that you need to know is you need to understand your deliverables. So you need to understand, what are my deliverables for today? Like what are my KPIs for this job? Please, if you're in any job and you don't understand what your KPI is, sit with your manager, sit with your employer, and understand exactly what you expect of me. Now, vis-a-vis that expectation of you, look at so now get that into breaking your task. Your biggest frog, please hear this and hear this clearly. If your biggest frog is not tied to your KPI, get that out of your list and push it backward. And then the next question I'll ask is, why would your heart sink when it's not tied to your core deliverable? But so let's assume you've done the work of understanding your KPI and everything on your to-do list is tied to your KPI. You start with the hardest. So you start with the hardest. And so when you kick that out of, don't procrastinate it, because when you procrastinate it's like when you do it, you have a sense of fulfillment. So for me, work-life balance is starting my work by 9 and closing my Microsoft laptop at exactly 5:30. That's work-life balance for me. Closing my Microsoft laptop at exactly 5:30. So, and you cannot achieve that if you are not that organized. You can be organized to say, I'm going to respond to this person's email. I push your email down if it's not tied to my KPI. I would respond to it, but I'm not going to prioritize it. So I start off my day. I have an entire to-do list here. I wish you could see it. So I have a book, and this is like a to-do list. This book is almost filled up. And so every day when I list out my to-do list, I organize them in A, B, C, D, E. That I prioritize them. Sometimes I have A1, A2, A3. So until I'm done with all the A's, then I get into the B's, then I get into the C's. So even if I end up my day not finishing my to-do list, guess what? Because I had prioritized right, I've taken all the big tasks and I feel happy. I cannot get into a review session where my manager said, oh, Odu, you did not achieve your job, because I'm like, oh, I have 2 children. That's, it's pulling my hair here and there. So work-life balance for me is closing my laptop at that time. Secondly, is work-life balance for me is that between that time that I said is for my kids and my family, I'm focused on them. So between having those chitty chats with my kids, all the things that doesn't make sense and the things that make sense, because I know those are the memories that they're building. Yeah. So so there's a whole lot I can unpack, but I'm conscious of time is it working for me? It's been working for me. And I would encourage everybody, please read that book, Eat the Frog by Brian Tracy. It's a really nice read. It would help you to be very productive, and it will help you hold, I listened to one of my favorite women who said, as a woman, you need to hold different parts of your life. So it's like you're holding your family, you're holding your children, you're holding your spiritual life, you're holding that you have a midway that you need to pull in. But I think start off by knowing how to prioritize. Yeah, eat the frog. Which other part of it? Overcoming imposter syndrome. Which this is, I think we've had loads of training as a community on imposter. Someone would ask me, it was 10 plus years in career. Do you still have imposter? Yes, I do, of course. I even had one this week. I was like, why? Why are you doing that? So when I have those moments, I pretty much talk to myself. I talk to myself like, why are you doing this to yourself? But key to that for me is reminding yourself who you are. And what do I mean by remind? When I started off by saying, know the work that you've done and brag about it. If you've actually not, so what I notice is when you start talking about the work you've done, it has a way of being registered in your memory. So the thing where you say when you talk about something, it registers in your head. So in those moments when I'm going through an imposter syndrome, I just reflect on who I am. I reflect on all the work that I have done in the past 10 years. I reflect on all the tasking projects. That time where they're saying, fan yourself. I hype myself. It's like, so what was this? Who told you can't do it? So it's important that do you go through that? Yes, go through it. Strip it. So for me, it's a thing of for every time I have that, I strip it off. I'm like, you strip it off to what's the issue here? Is the issue that I need to spend an extra time over the weekend and read more because I'm going in for a meeting. And the reason I feel that way is I don't feel prepared enough. So what I'll do for myself is I would tell myself, do I prioritize your mental health? And in prioritizing my mental health is I'm going to spend time to prepare. And if that means I have to go and read about a particular technology that I don't feel conversant with, if I share with you my diary, you would see times where I'm putting read for this, read for this, read for this. What's that supposed to do for me? It's supposed to boost my self-ego ahead of that session. So remember when Omar said, I was coming into this meeting and Dora was saying, Omar, we see you checking yourself out. Omar was like, yes, it's very important. I would say we have so many slangs in Nigeria that I just love. I would say it's important. Is it so? If for you going for that meeting would mean you need to look at yourself and feel I look good, what does looking good mean for you? If looking good for you means you need to wear your makeup, you need to do your nails, if that's going to boost your self-confidence, do it. If you feeling ready is going to mean I need to put in an extra time, maybe on a Sunday evening and read about it so that by the time I show up on Monday, I'm coming with a renown. Everybody can see confidence when it comes out, and everybody can see when you don't have confidence in something, right? And so key for imposter for me is always stripping it. I strip it to why are you having imposter syndrome about this project? It's because you're not knowledgeable in this topic. That is a growth opportunity for you. Go and learn it. You have time, and feel free to move something and says, oh, maybe this meeting was supposed to be on Monday. Sorry, can I move this in another 2 weeks? Because you want to show up at your best self. Okay, I think that's been a mouthful. I've somehow talked about upskilling in part of this, in part of that imposter type conversation. It depends on what upskilling is for people. Some people start off the year saying by the end of the year, I want to have learned this skill, learned that skill. That's beautiful. I do that. It depends on the stage of life I am in. For this year, for instance, I didn't start off saying I want to be skilled up in this level. I knew because of the virtue of the role I had taken on last year, I have a lot of skilling to do. So if I was to list them from the beginning of the year, I'll just fall out like, where is the time? But what I've said to myself is for every time I know I need to show up for something, I'm going to be intentional to block the time to skill up for it. And that's what I've been doing and holding myself accountable. Something I need to mention is you need to make yourself. So I read a lot of books. So I read something in a book that said you have to trust, you need to you need to make your inner self believe in you. And how does that happen? If you say you're going to skill up in something, do it so that you can have faith in yourself. Because the least you want to do is you're saying to yourself, you put it as a to-do list. Oh, by December, I'm going to be a product manager. And your brain is telling you, me, product manager, where last year, were you not supposed to be a product manager 2 years ago? Remove that thing from the list. Okay, just leave it there. Let's have fun with it. So the least you can do for yourself is if you tell yourself, I want to be this, I want to be that, see that to the end. And you see, when you do that, what you're telling your brain indirectly is there's a way the subconscious works. What you're telling your brain is that if I say I'm going to do something, my brain gets to work. Be ready, because December I'm going to be a product manager. So all what your brain now begins to tell you is that, how do we get this woman to be a product manager? Instead of you to tell your brain, I want to be a product manager, say, 2019, we were supposed to have applied for masters. We didn't do it. Last year, we said we were going to do scholarship. We didn't do it. Which brings a product manager? No, December is dirty December. We go nowhere. Literally, and you will not do it. But as much as this sounds very interesting, I mean, I don't know how you people's brain work, but if you start telling yourself, oh, by December, I want to be a product manager, and you sort that out, by next year, whatever you tell your brain, it's like you're telling your brain, align, this is where I'm going. We are going here, it would align. So that's what I would say. If there's anything you want to do to yourself, make yourself believe in you. It was just a funny coinage I read in the book. Like, the least you want to do is tell yourself, you have to believe in me. All right. Which other thing did I not mention? The leadership skills. I'd say leadership skills comes with your growth. I would even tell you that you start off as a fresh graduate saying, oh, you're going to be a leader, for instance. But if you're someone that is advanced in your career, leadership skills come with your willingness to learn. Key to that is what I'll call emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is, just we've had a couple of trainings on emotional intelligence, and we'll still do a lot of those. But emotional intelligence is knowing what to say, when to say, and how to say it, and how to relate with people. That's the way I would wrap up emotional. And that's for me is like the bedrock of leadership. Bedrock of leadership for me too is understanding how to communicate with people. It's knowing that what is applicable to a Dora is not applicable to an Anita. Just how do you work out human relationship? Because at the leadership level, you're more like, oh, you've gotten it from a technical standpoint, but how do you make other people bring out their best selves to work? Right. You cannot make anybody bring out their best selves to work if you don't understand how to deal with individuals, how to deal with people. I think those are part of the things that is even part of our Wentors 2.0 offering that we're going to be, teaching you all the way and guiding you through that. But I'm very conscious of time. And maybe I'll stop right now in case there are
Absolutely.
specific
Thank
questions.
you so much. Thank you so much, Edu. I really love how everything you spoke about is interwoven to the Wentors 2.0 package that we have for our members, from the foundational down to the pro. So it has been specifically designed to ensure that everyone and basically no one is left out, right? So I really love how you personalized each and every one of the strategies, because again, we want to grow in technology as a woman. We want to bloom, we want to thrive. And we can see that from your experience, you have thrived and you're still thriving, you're still blooming as a woman in technology. So I'm going to give the floor open. I'm going to leave the floor open for anyone who has questions. Again, the Wentors 2.0 has been designed to ensure that every woman, from the one who has 0 years of tech experience to the one who has 5+ years of tech experience, is able to adequately engage and gain value at every single offering. So it has really been thought of. And I absolutely enjoy the fact that we're able to do this for our community as well as for women, globally. Now, I see that we have some questions in the chat, or just one question from Anastasia. Please, we have the floor open for questions. So we want to take as many questions as possible. I see Anastasia, she says, hi, Edu, could we get a little bit on negotiation? It seems you may not have touched that. So could you just touch a little bit on that? Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So I'll talk a little bit on that and on offer generally. So there was an interesting statistics that I read that said, so typically when you see a role that is advertised as a woman, it is a very interesting statistic. The woman would say, oh, so there are like maybe 4, let's assume there are 10 JDs for the role. You need to have a project management certificate. You need to have done this. You need to have done that. A woman will look at it and it's like, oh, I have only 8. I don't have 2. And would say, I'm not applying. But guess what? A man will look at it. Out of 10, I have 3. Let's do it. Let's do it. My urge for you today would be, if you're applying for any role, you don't have to have all the things listed on the role. Because if you have everything listed on the role, what are you going to learn? For every role, you have to be learning, don't you? Okay. So I just thought I should mention that by the side. To negotiating, I'm assuming this is around your remuneration, your salary, and all of that. So the first thing I would say is, I hear a lot of people talk about, oh, decline your first offer and all of that. First thing, it starts with you and your belief system. What are your values? What is the value you're bringing? So please do not go into a negotiation conversation without itemizing, okay, for this role, for this company, here, okay, here are my skill sets. You remember the task where I'm saying, do the thing of reminding yourself who you are. This is my skill set. This is what I'm going to be bringing in the table. It's not okay to just go in and say, oh, you offered me 20,000 naira. No, I want to get 30,000 naira. And so the employer will be like, should I give you 30,000 naira or not? Well, you probably can, but you can go in intelligently having a conversation to say, this role is going to be focused on leading this project. In my experience, I have done this for A, I have done this for B. I am bringing this and this and this. And so here is what I'm asking for to enable me bring my best self. So at the time when they are looking at you, so it's not a case of, okay, you just want 30,000. Let's understand you. Like, remind yourself of your value vis-a-vis the worth of what you're applying for. Now, also understand what the industry standard for what you're being paid is. Please don't go in for a role and you're like at a minimum, you're applying for a product management role in a fintech. What's obtainable in that industry? And when you realize what's obtainable in the industry, negotiate a few percentage higher. If I'm just giving an example, if the industry standard is 50,000 naira or $1,000, it would be ridiculous that if that's the industry standard, that you go in and say, oh, I want you to pay me $2,500. It kind of felt like you didn't do a research. In some of those cases, it would come off being irritating the HR people, right? So the least you want to do is, okay, you offered me 600. There's an industry standard of 1,000. I'm not even asking you for 1,000. Can you pay me 1,200, 1,300? Because there's always going to be a percentage of people that are above that industry standard. And again, the industry standard is an average, so you can be on the other end. But you wouldn't just say, oh, I want you to offer me 1,200, 1,300. No, 1,200, 1,300, because here is what I'm bringing to the table. Here is my past experience. This is how I feel I'm going to be a very valuable resource to you people. I'm the next best thing that's going to happen. It's a way of saying, look, I'm the next best thing that's going to happen to you people. I hope that gave you an insight.
Yeah, I believe that it did, especially to me. I totally love the response, especially because it also, especially, one
Dora,
thing
this
you
show,
mentioned.
when you say it makes sense, especially to you, is Dora coming to us for a negotiation?
I mean,
I am cautious of how that makes sense to you.
well, Anastasia said
But
it did.
that was
She's
for
the
them.
one who asked that question. Somto said, yes, I struggle with this too. I mean, I think almost every woman, if not every woman, does struggle with that. So thank you so much, Edu, for providing more clarity on negotiation. There's another question, and this is from Adebola. She says, would the acceptance on the Wentors 2.0 be on a rolling basis? Is there a particular time of the year we are accepted?
So because we're going to be having a curated program running for the people for like 6 months. So for us, it would make sense to start at a particular time and stop and then reopen after that set of people are done. So if you remember on Oma's slide, if you're going to go for a 1 year, so there's going to be the 6 months plan and there's going to be the 1 year plan. But ultimately, we would open up registration for people, and that would be for a period of time. And then we would want to turn in our focus, work with those people that have registered for like 6 months in one
Right.
year, and then refine and then reopen again. So shortest answer is, would you be able to just join the program at any time of the year? At the moment, no.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, Adu. We have a question on negotiation. It says, when negotiating with zero work experience, how do I give answers based on what I have done?
So when I hear people say you have zero work experience, think of your skill set. So by the time you think of your skill set, you went through school. In going through school, you've done a lot of you've done a lot of projects, you've done a lot of teamwork. What are the so strip it off. In your past 4 years that you've gone through, maybe the worlds of university and your internship, for instance, what have you done? If you're coming from a different field and you're going into IT, what are the skill set that you can export from that field? So when you're moving careers from one sector to the other, there are skills you can transport from the other. So for instance, your branding skills is not, it's not an IT thing. You don't need to know how to code. It's not a coding skills, right? So think of the things that you've had to do. And I'll give you an example. I remember my first job, the skills I had on my first job had a lot to do with my project. It had a lot to do with the volunteering things that I did in school. It had a lot to do with the my classmates that I helped out of some teamwork assignment. So strip it off to the things that you have done, and say, and still go into the conversation. It's like, you are a fresh graduate, but here are some skill sets that you have been applauded for over the years to have. And you know that bringing these skills will be very necessary for the graduate program or the graduate training program that you're going to, because these days, this and that. So don't always think because you're a fresh graduate, you don't have any skills. It takes a lot of grit to finish school for 4 years. That's why you have people drop out of school. You know that. So give yourself some kudos, like to go through the worlds of the university for 4 years. It takes a lot of grit to do that. In that journey, there's a lot of things that you have done. There's a lot of ways that you have shown that, you can work with people. You've done those times where they're saying, oh, you guys choose your teammates in class, you have to do something. That's like how you do a teamwork at work, to be honest. The little fights that you've had, the person that have had to reconcile team members, that's the beginning of your most type of email. So don't typically think like, oh, because I'm coming from where I haven't done that from a work standpoint, you do have skills, but just sit back. It's a self-reflection that you have to bring it to come alive. All right.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Adu. Messi says, with all these insights, I'm gonna go back to my data science journey. Thank you, Adu. And Laduni says, meant zero tech work experience. Thank you. You spoke on that also. Amazing. Thank you so much, Adu. I think those are the questions that we're gonna cover. So yeah, the Wentors 2.0 has come finally, and it's definitely here to stay. I believe that we have provided as much information as possible. We're going to be, so right now, what we're doing is we have created a form where you can go on and key in your interest, pending when we're going to go live with the entire product. So what does this mean? It means that you should go and register on the link that I just sent on the chat area. Now go there, register, put in your information, let us know that you are interested. It's our wait list form. Let us know that you are interested. We already have a newsletter. So this is definitely the call to action on everything that has been said today, from the personalized career roadmap that creates a one-on-one interaction with your mentor, to the skill mastery, which is an unlimited access to premium courses curated for your path to your career, as well as the monthly power session. These are exclusive small group mentoring program that is you would be pegged with a senior tech leader or Fortune 500 company tech leader. And then we have the Career Advancement Bootcamp, which is an intensive 3-day virtual workshop on personal branding, on networking, on interview mastery. We also have the VIP event access, which has been designed to be our Wentors conference or networking events that would allow you to join in from anywhere in the world. So it may be virtual, it may be physical. It all depends on when we're going to push that out. And definitely we have our Tech Innovators Network, which is our private members only community for peer support and exclusive and would provide you exclusive opportunities. And then finally is the certification mentor guide. What this means is you would leverage the experience of mentors and receive guidance from a certified professional in whether in project management, in cloud, in data, it all depends, right? This is the package that we have curated for you. Now, all you need to do is go and sign up on our wait list, pending when the program or the product will be pushed out to the public. It has been designed to ensure that you scale as a woman in technology, that you grow as a woman in technology. This is the essence of why we have Wentors. The vision of Wentors is simple: nurture women in technology everywhere. So this is what we're doing, and this is what we will continue to do, which is to ensure that you are nurtured, that you are taken care of, that you have what it takes to take you to the next level, right? So that's the call to action. If you have more questions, if you want to reach out to us, we have Wendy. You can reach us at mail@wentors.com. Now that's mail@wentors.com. You can reach out to Wendy. She's very much available to respond to your questions. I see that we did have someone who wanted to send a private question. Wendy will definitely be available to do that for you. Anastasia says, have I missed the pricing information for the different? Absolutely not. You haven't missed the pricing information. Now, the pricing information are definitely obviously different. We can share that with you via the waitlist information. We want to be sure that you are interested in this. Then we share more information to you via that medium. However, please go ahead and sign up. Tell a woman to tell a woman. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We want to make sure that you have everything you need. That's why this has been curated majorly for you. So if you're a woman who has 0 years of experience, if you're a woman who has 5+ years of experience, this is your time to ensure that you gain as much mastery in every level, from the mentorship down to the career advancement bootcamp, interview mastery, the LinkedIn profile optimization. If you want to go 1 year, get the add-ons into the package. This is what it will cost you. This is what you need, and you need to do that as soon as possible. So again, if you're looking for the link, we will definitely share the form to you via our newsletters. For everyone who is interested, please go ahead, register, be on that wait list while we ensure that more information is loaded onto you. If you need more clarity, again, mail@wentors.com would provide you that information. What do you want us to do for you? How would you want us to, ensure that you get this at a platter? Again, this is what we are. This is what we have been working towards, to ensure that every woman gets it as quick as possible and is able to thrive as a woman in technology. Thank you again to everyone who came on board today, and also to our fantastic team members at Wentors. Edua Basi, thank you so much for being humble enough to provide us with every bit of you. We love it. And also to Anita, always smiling, always clapping, always supporting. Thank you so much, Anita. And also to Wendy. Hi, Wendy. I know you put off your face just because you think you can do presentation and then you don't want to show your face. However, we see you. Thank you so much much. Thank you so much for always being, always being there as a woman in technology within the Wentors community. And then to Oma had to run off. However, she sent her love to us. Again, we just want to say thank you. Again, if you have more questions, mail@wentors.com. Wendy's very available for that. And then the link is also going to be made available. I know someone said that they wanted to know if the recording is going to be available. Yes, it will be available. We will share that with you almost as we are done. A few minutes after we're done with this recording, it should be available via your newsletters. And Hafisat says, thank you so much. The form is not loaded. Wendy's going to have that fixed. Somto says, thank you so much. Absolutely. You're welcome. Thank you again for everyone who came on the program today. Edu has sent another form. However, this will be sent to your newsletters, so you won't miss it. No matter what, you will not miss it. Blossom says thank you. Adwell says thank you so much. You are welcome. You're very much welcome. Again, I encourage you to have your friends sign up. I encourage you to have, that woman that you think will benefit from this to sign up. Esther says, thank you so much. You're welcome. Uchechi says, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We're going to end it today. I know that you learned a lot, Ume. I love that you said that. Absolutely. We wanted to make sure that you get it, straight up with everything that is necessary. We're going to end the program today. If you have questions, mail@wentors.com. I'm going to repeat that again, mail@wentors.com. Wendy will provide you as much information as possible. You're not going to miss it. The recording is going to be available. Also, the form is readily available for you to sign up. If you have any issue, please reach out to us because we will respond to you. So that's it from us today. Do have a lovely, lovely, lovely weekend. And again, tell someone about the Wentors 2.0. We're here to stay, and we will provide more information as the days and the weeks come by. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Hi, Oluwole. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. You can unmute yourself to say bye. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.